Hello everyone, I am back. It's about time, isn't it? Man, it's been a long time. Kind of rusty, so bear with me. Kind of jumping in here to get my feet wet again. I have this Puerto Rico jersey on. I haven't been to Puerto Rico in a long time. I haven't downloaded a video in a long time. So I thought these two would go great together. So now that I'm doing a video, I need to get back and see Puerto Rico again. I think I've been there 3 times. Absolutely love it every time. So getting into the video, I have some things that I've purchased over the last probably year, if not more, that I've been gone. So I get you guys caught up on some of the stuff that I've found. The first item is a Smith's English clock system interval timer made in Great Britain. This thing's heavy duty. First time I saw one of these was somebody I knew that did photography, and they developed their own pictures, and they had one in a darkroom. This is noisy. You get the idea. I think I just scared the cats probably in about a 1.5 mile radius of the house here, because I know my 2 don't like it. So that's what that is. Hopefully you get an idea of what it looks like there. Heavy duty stuff, manufactured by the English Clock Systems, a branch of the clock and watch division of Smith's Industries. Not so easy for me to say. So I picked that up. If you hear some ticking, it's some other mechanical watch items. This is a travel alarm clock. My parents had something similar to this. It was kind of a open it up and the clock flipped up, and then you put it there and you listen to it tick all night long. These older clocks are definitely louder, but you slide open the case and a little leg pops out, as you can maybe see there. And then it stands so you can see the clock. This was made by, the name on it is HERZ product, made in Germany. And I tried to look this up, and you get Hertz, not HERZ, you get HERTZ. All kinds of things about rental cars and clocks and things, but I can't find anything about this. So if it's of interest to anyone that knows the history, if you could pass it along, I'd appreciate it. Again, made in Germany. It says 7 joules on it. On old days, pocket watches actually did use joules. It's a very smooth stone that they would use in places that would create high friction with the movement of the gears. They were, I think, sapphires and rubies. And then they eventually got away from using the actual sapphires and rubies, and they created a man-made sapphire and ruby, so to speak. So they're not the gold mine that you would think, the newer, older ones. But this I thought was kind of fun. That explains kind of the joules a little bit. The pocket watches, I did come across this. It's an Illinois pocket watch. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. There you go. And the back is kind of fancy. I think that focused on the back, hopefully. This was made in 1921, so it's at least 100 years old. I can do that math. But it runs a little bit fast, a little bit slow. It has blue hands, white face, and I don't think it's a solid gold watch, but the front does come down to expose the face, the crystal, and then it does open up. In the back, it has 2 shields and a really fancy inner workings, which I thought was just pretty cool. To hold something in your hand that keeps time, that's over 100 years old, I think that's just, to me, that's really neat. So I did pick that up. When I was in Ohio, I found a much cheaper pocket watch, which is the Ingram. Some people say Ingraham. It's a Biltmore model, made in 1964. Show you the face on that one. And these were kind of a byproduct of the expensive watches that were made back in, I think they go back as far as the 1700s maybe. And tradition had it that the father would hand his pocket watch down to his son on his wedding. And I'll go into pocket watch history a lot more later because I have some other examples. They're just not here right now. But to get back to the story, eventually it came around where they wanted a less expensive pocket watch that didn't have jewels in it but still kept decent time. So they Westclocks, Ingram, there's a couple other ones. They came out with a much less expensive version that you could literally buy back in the day for $1. And they were referred to as the watches that made the dollar famous. Because if you had $1 and you needed a watch, you were all set. The modern ones, some of them are collectible. And then nowadays they go to, and this one was made by Avon Calling. And it's got the Maltese cross, I think is what they refer to that, the fire department. It has their symbol, and then the hands not only have the 1 through 12 hour, but it also gives the 24-hour on the face. So I enjoy that. I used to see quartz. That's generally an indication that it's going to be a watch that's going to take a disc battery. And these are not old by any means, but they make it in the traditional shape and style of the pocket watches that are valuable. So you get a little insight on that. And the last kind of timepiece thing that I found was a timer. And this is pretty much all plastic. I think I paid $2 for this, and I'm guessing that the most popular area that you're going to see these is for chess tournaments where the players are timed with how they make their moves. And this runs on batteries too. I paid $2 for this. So none of these items, with the exception of maybe this, was a little bit expensive, but even this was reasonable. I think I paid, might have been $100 for this. And again, it's made in 1921, so if I got hosed on that, somebody who knows pocket watches more than I do, let me know, but I think I did pretty good on that one. Some of the other things I got was a game. This is a modern game. I think I paid $1 or $2 for this. Baseball. If you remember the old Kohner Toy Company Trouble game with the Pop-O-Matic. Yeah, I know, I'm that old. This has 2 Pop-O-Matics, but I don't remember the Trouble game being as loud as these. These click really loud. Cats definitely don't like this, so maybe that's why I got it for $1. But we'll put that over there. And I did pick up some books. Of course, you know I like books, and the DVDs. We'll get those out of the way first. This was sealed, never opened as far as I know. SOS Titanic. And this was I believe a TV show or TV series that starred David Jansen, the fugitive guy, Cloris Leachman. I know her from Mary Tyler Moore and Young Frankenstein, along with a host of others. Helen Mirren, which I just saw in the Harry Potter House Tournament of Champions, I think is what it was called. So we'll give this a look and see what that does. It's 144 minutes long, and it was made in 1979, filmed in color. That's exciting. And then I found 2 videos from the Cleveland NASA Center, which is also a part of the Plumbrook Center in or near Sandusky, Ohio. And it's actually has a nuclear reactor. A lot of history to Plumbrook, even before NASA got a hold of it. But I think their aim was to someday supply nuclear power for passenger airlines. And we know that never happened. But this is kind of a history of the facility and some of the work that they do. So I found these, and that was interesting. So I have those, and this one's another one that wasn't open. It was originally sold at Best Buy for $35.99. I didn't pay that much for it. It's a 2-disc deluxe limited edition of the Shawshank Redemption 10th anniversary, which includes the soundtrack CD and a collector's book. And I think the interesting thing about this is they ran into a problem by including the CD soundtrack because there was an issue with copyrights or something. And you can see it's got a book and the CD and then the movie. The book, I think, is actually a paperback version of the script of the movie. I could be wrong on that. And again, I haven't opened it. But I think there's something up with this. So if you find one and it's cheap, you might want to grab it because there was an issue. I think they were actually ordered to pull these from the shelves and return them. And this is one of the ones that escaped. So if anyone's looking for it, I have it. So I'll hang on to it for a while. And then some of the books. World War I, the Great Halifax Explosion. Kind of a thing where a military operation kind of messed up civilian life. I mean, of course it does with war, but this is something that took place, I believe, over in New Jersey. Well, now I'm just guessing because I haven't read it, but I got that cheap, so I'm going to learn. I have to learn something new every day. That's my goal. This was $1. Bill O'Reilly, The Killing of the Mob, the fight against organized crime in America. And I don't know much about that. If you know Bill O'Reilly, he's been on TV, he had some controversy. He's since going into writing books. He's authored a lot of books, a lot of those that I've had. I've read some of these. And I think he stays very factual. At least it appears that with what I've read from him. So that was a good find for $1. This I actually read in paperback, but I found the hardback book for $1 by James Swanson, Manhunt, the 12-Day Chase for Lincoln's Killer. That was the whole conspiracy thing. Everybody jumps on oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Well, this was actually a conspiracy. They wanted to wipe out a lot of the government. And they went after more than just Lincoln. Found this, the General Motors, the first 75 years of transportation products, so the history for General Motors. And I don't know if this was offered to the public or if this was something for employees that was published for General Motors. But the pictures in here are absolutely amazing. And again, for the price of the book, I couldn't pass that up. So I grabbed that, because I love American cars, the old ones. Cobb, A Terrible Beauty. Perfect title for that. An amazing baseball player, but just a rough teammate, according to everybody that's written or anything about him. I read the book from Al Stump, I believe his name was. It was a biography that I guess it wasn't approved. I don't know who would approve him. Very colorful character, but kind of guy you might tolerate on your own team, but you hated him if he was on the other team. Played almost all of his career, basically the greatest years of his career with the Detroit Tigers. And I think he was in the first class elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I have to double check on that too. And last but not least, Hammerin' Hank, not Aaron. Hammerin' Hank Greenberg. Again, another Detroit Tiger. And after his playing days, he went into the front office and was actually with the Cleveland Indians, which was a team I grew up watching. And last but not least, a Soaring School Manual. What? It's true. Soaring Centers of America. And this is actually somewhat of a flight operation manual for air gliders, which would be the type of aircraft that you would put a line from that over to a small, maybe a 2-seat airplane, Cessna. And the Cessna would power you up in the air, and once you were up into the wind currents, they would drop the line, the Cessna would come down and land, and you'd stay up there floating around in the glider. And the thing that caught my eye about this is that one right there. I was on vacation with my parents, and my dad and I went up in one of those, and went up in it actually twice. We got 2 trips in it, which was really exciting. Fortunately, it held 3 people, so the pilot could take care of doing the important stuff, and we were along for the ride. So actually an amazing experience that I got to do with my dad. Originally, this was marked for $5, and I don't know if you can see that, but it says $5. I got it way cheaper than that even. So that's it for now. Just a quick update on some of the things that I've picked up. A lot of the things that I look for are things that probably not a lot of other people would be interested in. I can go to a garage sale on the third day when everybody else has already picked through everything, and I can probably still find one or two things that would interest me. So that's exciting. But thanks for watching. Sorry it's been such a long time. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I'm getting my feet wet, but I have a lot of stuff to do with the old pocket watches that I want to give you a little bit more history and facts instead of just guessing like I did with some of this other stuff. But if I'm wrong, definitely please tell me and I'll correct it. And if I'm on the right page, that's great, because hopefully you guys learned something along with me while I'm learning it. So thanks for joining. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Honest.